Hello, young mothers. I'm so happy we're having our second episode, and I'm so happy to introduce to you our guest today, and that is Mrs. Kisitu Maggie. Mrs. Kisitu is the founder of Afros&Mo. I am so humbled to have Mrs. Kisitu here. She's actually a twin. And secondly, we come from way back. You guys are going to know. But first of all, let me first introduce Mrs. Kisitu. Madam, you're very welcome on this show.
Thank you, Priscilla. I'm so humbled to be here today.
Wow.
It's quite a great honor that, you've called me here.
Oh, thank you so much.
As you've said, from way back, so I think I'm just going to enjoy this space for now.
All right.
But I'm humbled. Thank you so much.
Okay. Today on the show, we are looking at how to run a business. Mrs. Kisitu, I've known you for like 10 years plus. And the time I first met you, you were working in a bank.
Yes.
So how did you transition, or what happened?
All right. So one thing I can say is that the bank was my training, my training space, okay? And I think I remember I used to come to Cham Towers. I was at that time working at the inquiries desk. Remember, I used to drop in once in a while. And, but my journey in the bank was also, I always tell people about my divine stories. Like, it was a divine connection. It's so crazy. But I remember God was, I guess, preparing me for the journey I'm in right now, for the work that I'm doing right now. Because I remember I always tell people that in a vision, I got a vision and I was told to go to Stanbic Bank, was given a number that really existed, and the person was in Stanbic Bank, and my journey started there, and it took time. It was a sure process. I had to do a lot of waiting, a lot of being patient. My colleagues growing, me not growing. People are asking what's happening, like why isn't she growing? But I think in the divine space, God was growing me and maturing me into customer relations, as in I would be put on desks where I am engaging with a customer directly. And so it took about 8 years for me to understand how to take care, to engage, to resolve, just to connect with the customer. And so right now, starting from the bank was like the best thing that happened to me, and I would encourage most entrepreneurs, like people who would like to go in the entrepreneurial space, to first be mentored by somebody. Somebody may carry that risk for you, because sometimes when you just get into spaces out of desire, sometimes things may go wrong because there's something that you have in mind, there's something that you desire, but you've not experienced it. But if you experience it through the risk of another person, then it helps your training. And so you come back to kind of like put your dreams into action when you've matured into them, and you carry the purpose and the responsibility. So yes, I started from a white collar job, Stanbic Bank.
I'll cut you short a little bit.
Yes.
Mrs. Kisitu, I'm sure people out there
I think call me Maggie.
Maggie. Okay, Maggie. I'm sure people out there want to know, are you a mother?
Oh, yes.
A bit of an introduction. Are you a mother?
Yes.
How many children?
Okay, since you've said that, Mrs. Kisitu, God has blessed us with 3 wonderful children. And yes, I'm a mother of 3, married to Mr. Kisitu, Ronnie. Been married, I think, coming to 15 years. And yes, we are growing together, and the kids have grown. I think you remember them when they were toddlers.
Yes.
But now if you meet them, you'd be surprised.
Wow.
So now we are, I think, getting into that teen space, getting into that space of self-expression, self-awareness. Ooh, and I'm like, okay, I think this journey has just begun. If I thought I was with toddlers and it was difficult, now the challenge has started. How do you guide these little ones? So, yes, but I'm a mother of 3, but also, I think also God has privileged me to mother other people, other, like all my workers. I think I treat them as a mother.
Wow.
Okay, so I call them also my other children that God has given me by divine connection. But yes, that's who I am.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
So also, getting us back is, when do you choose to now leave?
Okay. When did I choose to leave? I think God started birthing something within me, and that was in the field of like natural hair. Okay. My twin, as you had introduced me before, I'm the Nakato, she's the Barbarian. So Barbarian is in the States, and so in the States, people had started talking about identity, okay? And so she just woke up and cut off all her hair. And I'm like, wow, we had so much hair. It was so beautiful. I mean, like, we're no longer twins. Why did you cut off your hair? And she said, you know what? I think I found who I am. And I just want that journey. And I think it's even going to be greater than the hair you knew. So then she came back 2 years after. And, you know, we're twins, but we're not like twins, because on the street, everybody would ask about her hair. She would style it. She would updos, you know, like curls, you know, like that kind of texture. And then she had colored it a little bit. Then I'm like, So I think by that time, she had literally brought me on board. And so I started natural hair, and like God started birthing it strongly in us, like to help other women, to help other people. Like most of our identity was kind of like destroyed, stigmatized. And so for us, we came from a place of identity. We've been women of color. I think our beauty lies in how we look. In hair, our hair has been called kaweke, poor quality, brown. So all those things kind of like, they started growing so strong in us. And we said, you know what? And my sister said, can you resign? Can you really resign so that we help these people? Because there are many people who just want to go natural, but they don't have help. And I'm like, let me pray about it.
And I can cut you a little bit short. I remember meeting you when you had the big resign, and I was in shock. I was like, Maggie, what happened? I mean, you had a good job in Stanbic, and I believe you had left the job to start business from scratch.
And nobody like believed in that dream. They're like, who is going to do this natural hair, honestly, eh?